All right, Chris, one of the big stories today, not only Juneteenth, but it is so hot outside. A lot of people are at festivals and celebrating, so they have to make sure they stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated. We've been mostly dry, but we will have a chance for maybe some storms late this evening and a better chance of rain for tomorrow. So at the moment, no heat advisories or warnings for the day, but we could see some strong storms tonight and again tomorrow. We've got a lot going on. Heat is still going on just to our east. Big storms. We've been talking about the damage in Moss Point, Mississippi, the significant weather in lower Alabama, the Florida Panhandle. And now we're going to be watching for, kind of associated with this cluster of storms, begin to build farther to the west. We've started to see some indications of that happening. Not as much inland over Mississippi, but Mississippi Sound and offshore, we have started to see this kind of building slowly to the west. Notice the lightning already in the Biloxi Marsh, even not associated with the rainfall or not underneath the rainfall. That is a trend which could continue. And we also, when you watch on satellite here, certainly the clouds are building westward. So it definitely appears as though that is a trend which will continue. And the models had been indicating that. So likely to see more storms kind of pushing farther to the west or developing to the west as we go through the 7 o'clock, 8, 9 o'clock hour, and could have some active storms even around 10 o'clock. Now, again, the exact position of this could be in question. Maybe North Shore metro area, but even as far as Baton Rouge, and the Storm Prediction Center is placing us under kind of a watch area, not necessarily a watch, but the potential of maybe a watch being issued, depending upon the trend as we go through the next couple of hours to see if those storms continue building to the west. And for tomorrow, we will see another complex of storms that will bring us a potential for some severe weather. Finally, looks like the pattern that we have been under since last week and this weekend is starting to break down, which means some storms will start to move in our direction. Plus, we're watching the tropics. We have newly designated Tropical Storm Brett. We also have Invest 93 with a medium % chance of developing. We're not going to go with the models just on that just yet. Let's focus a little bit more on Brett, which again, as I said, is almost 1,300 miles to the east of the Caribbean. So this is still way out. Cluster of storms that are developing around the center, trying to get a little bit better organized. You see that healthy outflow. So as some meteorologists are saying, it's starting to get that look of a healthy system that could start to rapidly develop as it continues over a fairly hospitable environment in the central Atlantic. As it approaches the islands, it will be strengthening, possibly as a hurricane, maybe even stronger than that. And then notice the official forecast does start it weakening once in the Caribbean. That's because the Caribbean, as we approach the weekend, looks to become a more hostile environment, stronger wind shear, and that may help to weaken the storm if the storm is able to make it into the Caribbean. Models are not guaranteeing that by any means. And again, when you look at the cone, it measures the uncertainty in that forecast and also measures the uncertainty from the Hurricane Center over the last several years. And there are certainly on the northern end of this envelope of models, the storms staying out of the Caribbean altogether. That's what the GFS has been indicating. This is a forecast of just the low pressure centers on the GFS in red and the Euro in green. Notice the model's already picking up on Invest 93. So as we watch those over the next couple of days, models are in pretty decent agreement. Through about Thursday, really no surprises are expected. This is where the models then split. The Euro keeps going almost due west and then weakening, again, hostile environment. The GFS kind of just scoots the northeastern corner of the Caribbean and then continues moving more toward maybe the Bahamas, with 93 kind of following or mirroring the path, but keeping it out over the Atlantic waters. Either scenario poses no threats to us. And again, a lot of time to watch it. 96 is our high today. Not a record, but boy, another very hot afternoon. Heat indices have been in excess of 110 degrees. Most of our area has been under bright sunshine. And again, just to the east, we've got those big storms. 94 is our current temperature with a heat index of 107, at least a little bit of a breeze. Winds have been at about 20 miles an hour. Still in the 90s across the board, and heat indices well above 110 at many locations. Heat will continue to be the issue over the next couple of days, but also a better chance for some rain. So our high temperatures are not nearly as brutal. In fact, we're going to get this complex of storms to roll through tomorrow with about a 60 to 70% chance for storms midday and afternoon. After that, it looks like daily rain chances into the weekend and high temperatures a little closer to normal in the lower 90s.